Fulani organization in Plateau State, issued a condition if peace is to reign in Plateau State, as yearned.
We demand the immediate removal of Commander Sector 5 Operation Safe Haven, Bokos Colonel Dauda Majem, for bias, inciting religious intolerance and bigotry. We are demanding for the disbandment of the notorious and anti-Fulani squad, the state security outfit codenamed Operation Rainbow, arrest and prosecute her operatives involved in killing, maiming, arresting, and displacing Fulani communities in Bokos local government.
So, what do we have here? A coalition of some groups led by the Fulanis are now giving people conditions on how to live in their own ancestral communities. In a land that belongs to my ancestors that I inherited, some foreign immigrants, or shall I say elements, come in, and now I am being conditioned on how to live. Did you listen to what that guy said? They, as a group, Fulani coalition, are demanding for the immediate sack of the Nigerian officer who has been leading the fight against the Fulani bandit. He is asked to resign. He is being called a bigot. That he has what we call the bigoted sentiment against the Fulanis. Also, they've come out to demand for the hastening disintegration of the Rainbow Squad. Now, who are the Rainbow Squad? The Rainbow Squads are like the anti-terrorist squad created by the current governor of Plateau State, of course, to restore peace, to restore sanity within the Plateau hinterlands. This coalition hasn't come out to apologize for the massive killings that has happened in Bokos, that has happened in Perom. This coalition never came out to condemn. If they do not at least apologize, can we say the barest minimum is to condemn those that are perpetrating this evil? But instead, they are out here sending a message to Tinubu that Tinubu must, as a matter of urgency, disband the Rainbow Squad created by Moftwang to, of course, repel any form of invaders who are terrorizing the true owners of the land. You know, it has gotten to a point whereby these guys are no longer hiding the agenda. They are not. They are now giving conditions. You know, in a situation whereby you worked for something, which is your money, but someone is somewhere telling you that this money that you earn through your sweat, you don't spend it this way. This is a particular way you have to spend it. And if you don't, you might lose your life at your own expense and nothing will happen. You see, the federal government has now been indicted on a countless basis. And for me, I am beginning to see a pattern that why all of a sudden, whenever these people from this Fulani extraction speak, the federal government just suddenly goes mute. They go quiet. If a person like Mazenam Bekano speaks, a person like from the Igbo extraction just argue that the Nigerian army are having so many checkpoints in the southeastern part of the country that can this be reduced? That why is the southeast placed on what we call martial law? Within a space of 1 or 2 hours, you start seeing the Nigerian government aides, media aides, who will start releasing different types of memos, communiques, sending warnings to everybody in the southeast. You know, promising them brimstones and fire, that if they do not keep short, that the martial law will be intensified. Okay, now a guy came out to threaten people in their own ancestral land, telling them that you do not have the right to protect yourself, that indeed you have to accept your fate, that in fact the Fulanis should stop being profiled, that the Fulanis should stop being profiled. I mean, tell me, how is that possible? How is it possible for the Fulanis to stop being profiled when every atrocity that happened within the Plateau, the victims, the witness of that horrible or horrendous incidents, always say that those that perpetrate the evil are from the Fula tribe, that the language they speak is the Fulani, that the body structure, their physicality, their physique represents and it displays that they are Fulanese. In another town called Kwara State, there is a new terrorist gang that has now written a letter of notification that we are coming to grab your community. We are not just coming to grab your community. We want you to leave that place for us. That place has been designated to us divinely by Allah. So anybody that we meet in that community, when we come, will be seen as a non grata, and we will deal with them in our own terms. Watch this video together of how people are fleeing their communities, and after that we'll continue.
Ya kumbukura mama akaronjendi bamwe bakura mama bakana akaronjendi ya mama akarumo
Welcome back. You can see from there, people are running for their lives. I am sure those communities will have written the police. I am sure they will have notified the governor. I mean, all the way from Kwara. If I can have access to that video, that information, then of course the Nigerian police would have been intimate. I mean, they must have been informed about that. But what have they done? These people have lost hope and trust in the Nigerian police force. Hence, the reason why you can see that they've gone to hire trucks and trailers to pack their things. It doesn't matter how they leave. Some of them will leave that community without taking a pain, because they know that the deadline must not elapse and have their body or soul left in that community. Otherwise, sorry will be their case. A country that is now under siege of some marauders who are not originally related with this contraption. Don't forget that the Kwara, within the period of 1845 to 1860, fell to the caliphate of the Fulanese when Afonja fell. So it is a non-starter that this Mahmuda new terrorist group are writing this communique that leave, despite the fact that the police are aware, the people still do not have a trust in them. You can see that, God forbid, it seems like the Fulani bandits, might just eventually take over the country. I'm telling you. Now, another threat that is coming from these people is Nigeria will cease to exist if if Tinubu tries to win the election come 2027. Now, they say that Nigeria will cease to exist. This was a statement issued by a former aide of Tinubu who resigned about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He has gone out to make a video issuing threat to Tinubu that listen, the North will actually recover this political presidency from you. And there's nothing you can do about it. They are saying that Tinubu will not be re-elected come 2027. And if he wins, definitely he has rigged. And for that reason, Nigeria will cease to exist. Well, that is a good news, though. For me, that is a good news. I am less worried about it. Yes. Because we all know that Nigeria is an expired product. Since the year 2014, when the 100 years of our amalgamation got completed, according to the United Nations Charter, the Nigerian ought to have a sit down to renegotiate the unity of this country. That do we want to continue as a nation, or should we go our separate ways? But the same Northerners who are crying foul now have been the reason why we have not had that sit down to have that round table conversation. We know that within the period of 2013, 2014, when Jonathan executed the bill creation called Confab, in that Confab it was written that Nigeria must have a referendum to discuss the way forward, that how do we want to coexist as a nation. We know that vehemently rejected the implementation of that Confab. The Northerners, they are. We know how Buhari back then used that confab of Jonathan to run his political campaigns and to score political gains, saying that Jonathan wanted to split the country. Jonathan is working for the Igbos. I mean, there were so many propaganda that was even pushed by by Tinubu and some, of course, some Yoruba media propaganda platforms. A lot of them, is it TVC, is it the Nations? So many people have reportedly said that the Sahara News was also used. So we know that since 2014 this country has expired. So therefore, when a Fulani man comes out to threaten that, well, if Tinubu tries to win, if it is ever announced that Tinubu is the winner of 2027 election, then all Nigerians should forget about the existence of the country. God, please, by all means, are we not even tired? This is a situation whereby a thief who literally wants to get burnt, or that will get burnt, rubbing his body with palm kernel oil. What do you think is going to happen? You just want to expedite the process of him being burnt. So you cannot threaten us. Oh yes, this a condition that will not even shiver, nothing, no. Listen, are we the one holding Nigeria from breaking up? I need to have that conversation with my co-northerners, because the northern elite have the opinion that Tinubu, who has been dismantling their evil structures, their hegemony over the middle belters and all that, they are now threatening that a Tinubu winning the election of 2027 is tantamount to the end of the Nigeria. By all means, please. This by all means. By all means. The reason why some of us, even regardless of how poor Tinubu is governing this country, still want Tinubu to go in 2027 is simply because we have seen that Tinubu will be the deal breaker. That evil deal that was considered between the North and South in the period of 1950s to 60s, where they called the independence, when Nigeria became a unitary system, where we migrated from regional to unitary system. We feel that Tinubu will be the spoiler of that. And of course, he needs to take his time. Yes. Are we not seeing that today some people from the North who have enjoyed, who have endured, who have ruled this country the most are unbelievably crying that they are being marginalized, that the Fulanis are being sidelined, that the Fulanis are endangered species, that the North is being robbed off. Mind you, you should know that the North have been the biggest beneficiary of this Nigerian unity. Are you talking about the oil? Are you talking about the cheap cut-off marks they get when they write jams? They are given the lowest of the lows. Are you talking about how they are being favored using a system called quota system, even when they are not qualified? By all means, Tinubu must win so that those that are forcefully binding this country will use their own hand and forces to just dismantle it. I cannot wait for 2027 to come. I can't. This has always been our prayer. And I hope it comes true. Let us listen to the words of Baba Ahmed, who has said that if Tinubu wins, Nigeria will end. Let's listen to it.
Yanzu ban buɗe baki na. Haka kwanan da na sauka daga aikin nan ban fara magana ba kuma ina da hujjoji na. Amma inda zan yi magana din zaka ga cewa akwai alaka da yawa akan abubuwan da yake faɗi kamar da can ba kafin shi wannan da ya mun takunkumi. Akwai alaka akwai kamar kewa tsakanin abin da yake faɗi da abin da nake. Abin da zai yake so in ce a gaskiya arewa yanzu ita za ta tashi ta kwaci kanta. Wallahi sai mutanen arewa sun gane sun yi ma kansu karatun tanasu sun kwaci kansu da kansu. Su kiyaye mayaudaran 'yan siyasa, su kiyayi abubuwan da zai raba kansu. Duk abin da ya shafi musulmi da kirista da baju da fulani da mangu da sauransu a ko ina ne wallahi ta shafi. Mun taɓa ganin wannan kafin shugaban ƙasa Buhari ya zama shugaban ƙasa. Lokacin muna campaign ɗin shi, Boko Haram na sa bom a masallaci, su sa a coci, su sa a Abuja, su sa a Lagos. Boko Haram suka haɗe mana, suka sa mutanen arewa suka haɗe kansu gaba ɗaya. Haka ce ne, saboda haka babu wani wanda zai zo ɗan siyasa yanzu da zai zo ce ina arewa mu ce ga mu. Ya ce mana ku yi layi a bayana, kai wani wane? Ya gaya mana abin da za ka yi mana da hanyoyin da za ka yi mana ma. Mun kuma idan mu ya buɗe, an yi shekara 8 na Buhari. Yanzu ga wannan gwamnatin tana nan, muna wayo. To shi kenan mun zauna mun sai dai kawai kuka a Najeriya nan, mu ma fa 'ya'ya ne. Muna son gwamnatin da za ta fahimci matsalolin da muke da shi kuma a mana magana. Saboda haka magana arewa ba karamin magana ba. Ni dai na sani insha Allah nan da wata 6 sai kaga an yi wani babban juye ko wani sauyi na inda arewa a kiblar da arewa za ta ko sauran Najeriya su biyo mu. Mu tafi mu kaɗai, mu dai mun san cewa ba mai zama shugaban ƙasa a Najeriya in ba da arewa. Kuma mun san da irin raini da irin abin da ake mana sai an koma ana da na sani. In dai ba mummunan zaɓe za a ce za a yi ba a ce arewan mu shi ne kawai za a ce a yi mummunan zaɓe. Mummunan zaɓe kuma a 2027 wallahi su yi hankali yana iya kawo ƙarshen nan.
Dokta kana yi wa 'yan arewa albishirin ne na cewa nan da wata 6 akwai wani abu da ko walau ku daga ɓangaren dattawan arewa kuke ganin za ku yi da zai daga muhibba da martaba arewa zai kawo canji, ko ku a ɓangaren siyasa kuna hasashen wancan sabuwar tafiya da ake yi kuna ganin za ta yi tasiri na ƙila samar wa arewa ta inuwar da in ta gaji da wancan ranar ta shiga wancan.
duka kamar yadda na ce maka fa talakan arewa da wannan kungiyoyin da kake magana da tawan arewa da masu kishin arewa akwai lokacin da za mu zo mu haɗu mu cika ya isa kuma an kusa zaluncin nan ya isa haka mu banzantar da mu a watsi da mu a waye arewa ya isa wallahi mun san ko mun suwaye mun sani shi yasa ni kullum yanda wanda yake magana yakan ba shi saboda yakan faɗa abu daidai yanda yake to wanda baya son abin da kake faɗi in ka faɗa sai ya ce gaba kake da shi ko kuma kana mishi munakisa ni dai na sani ka ce min ko hasashe nake yi yanda abubuwa ke tafiya a arewa to lokaci ya kawo ko da dan arewa zai buɗe shi da lokaci ya ta inda abin zai fito ko mutum ɗaya ne ko ƙungiyoyi ne ko ta siyasa ne ni dai na san talakan arewa idan da ya yi kurakurai na jefa ma mutane ƙuri'a ko don ɗan arewa ne ko don wasu 'yan ƙalilan 'yan arewa sun je sun ce dole sai an kawo ɗan kudu an yi to wannan ta kare in shugabanci muke nema sahihi wanda zai mana maganin matsalolin in ma daga sama ya faɗo ya faɗo amma kaga yaudarar mu da ake yi a ɗan arewa ɗan kudu musulmi kirista ku yi wannan wallahi ya ƙare jiki magayi ba ya taɓa faɗan wannan shi a lokacin bai san ashe za mu dawo da tuna jiki magayin nan ba